My sister stood at the podium on graduation day, about to give her valedictorian speech to 2,000 people. She had no idea I'd replaced every single page with printed screenshots of how she plagiarized my work. In 30 seconds, her perfect reputation would be destroyed. Hi, I'm Maya, and this is the story of how my older sister sabotaged my future to boost her own, and how I made sure everyone knew the truth on the biggest day of her life. If you love stories where cheaters get exposed in the most epic way possible, you're exactly where you need to be. Like, share, and subscribe to Revenge Stories X, because this revenge was calculated, devastating, and absolutely worth it. Let me take you back to the beginning of senior year, when I still believed my sister had my back. My sister Hannah was everything I wasn't. Straight A's, captain of debate team, student council president. At 19, she was a freshman at Stanford on a full ride. I was the younger sister, 17, smart but not brilliant, always compared to her. Why can't you be more like Hannah was the soundtrack of my childhood. I wanted to study creative writing at Columbia. It was my dream school, the only place I'd ever wanted to go. But we weren't rich. I needed a full scholarship. There was one shot, the National Young Writers Competition. First place winner got a full ride to any school. I had to win it. I spent 6 months on my essay. It was about losing my best friend to suicide sophomore year, raw, honest, painful. I poured my grief into every word. It was the best thing I'd ever written. Hannah read it over Thanksgiving break when she came home. She cried and hugged me. "This is incredible, Maya. You're going to win." I submitted my essay in December. The winners would be announced in March. Those 3 months were torture. I refreshed my email constantly, checked the competition website daily. This essay was my ticket to Columbia, to my future, to finally being seen as something other than Hannah's little sister. March 15th, the email came. "Thank you for your submission. Unfortunately, your essay has been disqualified due to plagiarism." My heart stopped. Plagiarism? That was impossible. I'd written every word myself. I called the competition immediately, frantic, explaining there must be a mistake. They said someone else submitted the same essay. 2 weeks before mine. I demanded to know who. They couldn't tell me, privacy reasons, but they sent me the submission date, November 28th, 4 days after Thanksgiving, 4 days after Hannah read my essay. My blood went cold. No, she wouldn't. She couldn't. But I pulled up her social media. There it was, a post from December. Just submitted my grad school application essay. Fingers crossed. I called Hannah immediately, shaking with rage. She answered cheerfully. "Did you steal my essay?" I demanded. Silence. Then, "Maya, I don't know what you're talking about." But her voice was wrong. Guilty. I accused her directly. She hung up. She didn't deny it. She just hung up. She didn't deny it. She just hung up. That's when I knew for sure. Hannah came home for spring break 2 weeks later. While she showered, I went through her laptop. She'd used my essay word for word for her graduate school applications to creative writing MFA programs. 15 schools. She'd changed the name, made minor edits, but it was my story. My friend's suicide. My friend's suicide. My grief. She'd stolen my trauma and used it to advance her own career. I confronted her with the evidence. She broke down crying, but not with remorse, with anger. She screamed that I didn't understand the pressure she was under, that Stanford was crushing her, that she needed something powerful for her applications, that I wasn't even going to get into Columbia anyway, so what did it matter? Like my dreams meant nothing, I told our parents. They sat us both down. Hannah cried and apologized, said she made a terrible mistake. Dad looked at me and said, "These things happen between sisters. You need to forgive her." Mom added, "Hannah's future is at stake with these grad school applications. Let's not ruin her life over one essay." They chose her. Again, like they always did. The competition refused to reconsider. I was disqualified. My chance at Columbia, gone. Hannah got into 3 top MFA programs using MYSA. She chose NYU. Meanwhile, I had to scramble for other scholarships, take out loans, settle for a state school. My dream died because my sister stole it and my parents protected her. Senior year continued. I barely spoke to Hannah. She texted occasionally, fake apologies, but never really took accountability. Then May arrived. Hannah was graduating Stanford. and she'd been chosen as valedictorian. She called to tell me, expecting congratulations. I hung up, but an idea started forming in my mind. A dark, perfect idea. Hannah spent weeks writing her valedictorian speech. She posted about it constantly. So honored, so grateful. Can't wait to inspire the next generation. It made me sick. She was going to stand in front of thousands of people and talk about integrity and hard work when she was a cheater and a thief. Mom insisted I come to Hannah's graduation. It's important for family unity, she said. I almost refused, but then I realized this was my opportunity. Hannah's big moment, her spotlight, everyone watching. If I was going to expose her, this was the time. I agreed to come. Hannah was thrilled. She had no idea what I was planning. I spent 2 weeks preparing. I screenshotted everything. My original essay with timestamps, Hannah's graduate applications with the stolen essay, emails between us where she'd said she loved my story, her plagiarism checker results showing 98% match. Side-by-side comparisons. I compiled it all into a 20-page document. Then I waited for graduation day. Graduation day arrived. Stanford's ceremony was massive, 2,000 students, 10,000 family members, outdoor stadium. Hannah looked beautiful in her cap and gown, so proud. She kept hugging me, saying she was so glad I came. I smiled and told her I wouldn't miss it. She had no idea what was coming. As valedictorian, Hannah would speak after the university president. Her speech was already loaded in the teleprompter system, but Stanford was old school. They also printed physical copies as backup. Hannah's printed speech sat on a table backstage. That's where I made my move while everyone was distracted by the processional. I printed my expose in the exact same format as her speech. Same font, same margins, same header. While volunteers were busy seating people, I swapped out every page of Hannah's speech with my pages. She wouldn't look at them before going on. She practiced so much she had it memorized. But when she inevitably glanced down, she'd see the truth staring back at her. I sat with my parents in the family section, heart hammering. Mom kept commenting on how beautiful the ceremony was. Dad was recording everything on his phone. They had no idea their golden child was about to be destroyed. Part of me felt guilty. But then I remembered Hannah getting into NYU with MYSA. My grief. My words. The guilt evaporated. The university president finished his speech and introduced Hannah. Our valedictorian graduated with a perfect 4.0 GPA and has been accepted to NYU's prestigious MFA program in creative writing. The crowd applauded. Hannah walked to the podium, smiling, waving. She placed her speech papers on the podium. She hadn't looked at them yet. She started speaking from memory. "Good afternoon, everyone," Hannah began. "I'm honored to stand before you today to talk about the power of integrity and hard work." I almost laughed. She continued for 2 minutes, talking about perseverance and honesty. Then she glanced down at her papers for her next line and froze. Her face went completely white. The top page read in large, bold text, "Plagiarism evidence. How Hannah Chen stole her sister's essay." Hannah's eyes went wide. She frantically flipped through the pages. Each one contained screenshots, comparisons, timestamps. Her hands started shaking. The audience began murmuring, sensing something was wrong. The university president looked concerned. Hannah looked up at the crowd, then back at the papers, paralyzed. Hannah tried to speak, but nothing came out. She looked into the audience, found my face. I stared back at her, expressionless. She knew. She knew I'd done this. Tears started streaming down her face. She grabbed the microphone and whispered, I can't do this." Then she ran off stage, leaving the papers scattered across the podium. Chaos erupted. The university president rushed to the podium and picked up the papers, confused. His face changed as he read them. He looked backstage where Hannah had fled, then at the papers again. Faculty members gathered around him, reading over his shoulder. Whispers spread through the crowd like wildfire. People were pulling out phones, taking pictures of the podium. The ceremony continued awkwardly with a backup speaker, but no one paid attention. Everyone was talking about Hannah. By the time we got to the reception, the pages had been photographed and were circulating online. Stanford valedictorian flees after plagiarism exposed was already trending. Hannah locked herself in a bathroom, sobbing. Mom and Dad finally understood what she'd done. Stanford launched an investigation immediately. Within a week, they confirmed everything. Hannah had plagiarized my essay for her graduate applications. NYU rescinded her acceptance. The other MFA programs did too. Stanford put a note on her transcript about academic dishonesty. Her perfect record was permanently tarnished. Everything she'd stolen from me, she lost. My parents finally apologized to me. They prioritized Hannah's reputation over my justice, and it had backfired spectacularly. Dad actually cried, saying he'd failed me as a father. Mom helped me write an appeal to the National Young Writers Competition, explaining what had happened. They reopened my case and awarded me runner-up, which came with a partial scholarship. Not Columbia, but something. Hannah sent me a 10-page letter 3 months later. She took full responsibility, acknowledged she destroyed my chances because she was jealous of my talent. She said she'd been so used to being perfect that when she struggled with writer's block, she panicked and took the easy path stealing from me. She didn't ask for forgiveness, just said she understood if I never spoke to her again. I'm 19 now, finishing freshman year at UCLA. I got enough scholarship money to make it work. I'm majoring in creative writing. I won a university writing competition last month with a new essay this time about betrayal and revenge. It felt therapeutic. Hannah's working a retail job, trying to figure out her life. We don't talk. Maybe someday, but not yet. People ask if I regret humiliating Hannah so publicly. Honestly, no. She stole my work, sabotaged my future, and my parents enabled her. She needed to face real consequences. Public shame was the only thing that made her understand the gravity of what she'd done. Sometimes revenge isn't about being petty. Sometimes it's about justice. And I got mine. My sister thought she could steal my words, my story, my dreams and get away with it because she was the golden child. But some betrayals are too deep to forgive without consequences. And sometimes the best revenge is making sure everyone knows the truth. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and share it with anyone who's ever been overshadowed by a sibling or had their work stolen. Subscribe to Revenge Stories X for more true stories of people who fought back and won. My name is Maya, and remember, plagiarism always catches up to you. Sometimes it just needs a little help.